Welcome back, everyone. Today's video, we're going to continue reassembling the Jeep. We're going to get the doors put back together, get those hung on the Jeep. We're going to start getting all the hood, fenders, got everything buffed out, so let's go take a look. We got a Smitty built rag top that's going to go on this Jeep. A lot of people prefer these versus the hard tops, that way they can just throw it off and drive around with the wind in their hair. We also were fortunate enough to find some factory takeoff flares that were the same color, so that was a good buy. We're gonna gotta still clean them up a little bit, but because they're so floppy, before we clean them up, we're gonna put them on the truck and then clean them up. Got the cowl panel here, hood, the fenders, the grill over there. Alright, so we got most of this assembled already. All the gaps, everything is finished. We got it all nice lined up within spec, at least for the Jeep Wranglers. All this is nice. Got all the doors lined up. Took a little bit of time, but we got all that lined up. So everything fits nicely, closes nicely. But still having a little issue with the guy that's painting. Wound up having to buy a new fender because he's painted this fender twice already, and then wound up leaving a dent in there. And then if you look on the side here, I mean, this is like yellow and that's white. So bought a new fender. Hopefully he can get it right on that one. But otherwise the progress is going pretty good. Next we're gonna have to re-gear the front diff and also do the lift kit. So we'll continue working on that stuff while we get the fender repainted again. Okay, so we got the diff pulled out. We originally figured out that there's multiple methods to figure out what the gear ratio was. We figured out that it was different, but now that we have this pulled out, the sure way to make sure is that counting these teeth. And the 321 has 45 teeth, and the 373 has 41 teeth. And after we pulled this out, we counted them and confirmed that the front axle did have a different gear ratio than the back and than what the car came with. So now we're going to go ahead and reinstall the new 373 gears that we bought into this front axle. You got the output shaft and the ring, all that has to be replaced.
Tragedy befalls our brothers by our side. There's open-ended nothingness with their lost and lonely guides.
Okay, so we got the re-gearing done now. We went ahead and replaced all the seals in there, even though it wasn't leaking. We're in there. Big job. Might as well just replace them. They weren't that expensive to not replace them. We got all this in. We got this gauge here to check the backlash, which is supposed to be 8 1/1000ths of an inch. So, and we adjusted that with the shims, moved it to where it needs to be. So that should be all set. Now all we got left is to seal this up put the axles back in, put everything back together, and our front end should be done. Okay, so now that we have the whole front end put back together, also while we had it assembled, we threw some paint on it to freshen it up because we're gonna refresh all the links, the frame itself. Basically, we're gonna refresh everything, that way everything looks like it's brand new. This is a good. We left this overnight. Had the gear oil already in there. Nothing's leaking. Everything's nice and dry, so that's good. And today we're gonna put in the lift kit. We ordered a rough country 2.5-inch lift. Also got the steering stabilizer. So let's open this up and see what comes with the kit. So they got the springs. Got some hardware, drop down brackets for the brake lines, stickers, instructions. That's the empty box. And this is the front and rear shocks with new bushings for the tops where they mount. Those are the rears. So that should be good. So that's the shocks, springs, drop downs for the brake lines, and then we got the steering stabilizer to help control the steering wheel and the movement of the tires. So we'll get working on this to get that lift kit on there and get whatever they had on there off of there, because that's no good. I mean, it might be okay, but we prefer to have a nicer kit on there. Okay, so back another day working on the Jeep. We got the lift kit put on. We got the steering stabilizer, the re-gearing all done. And just in time, we wound up finding a really nice used set of tires that I think will look great on this Jeep. Found them on Marketplace. They're fuel rims with Pro Comp tires on there. I think those are going to be really nice on there, and we got a good deal on top of that. So let's take a look at this lift kit that we put on there. Start with the steering stabilizer. This will help to prevent the wobble in the steering wheel when you're driving down the road. The adjustable links that they had on there, we kept them, but we put them on the correct way. They had these on the outside, which is incorrect. So we fixed that. We got the bigger springs for the lift, shock that needs to go with that, so that it works properly with the ride height that we have on it now. Same thing in the back. We got shocks and springs. It already had drop down brackets for the brake lines, so we just kept the ones that they had on there. But everything else is looking really good. Threw a little bit of paint on the frame, everything underneath basically, so everything looks nice and shiny. Okay, so now we're gonna put these rims on. We're gonna put 3 flares on because we're still waiting on the guy to finish that one fender that he keeps messing up. So we're gonna put the 3 flares on there and put these rims on and put it on the ground and see how it looks with the overall picture. Okay, so we finally got all the suspension done. We got the wheels on. We got the flares on. So let's take a look, see how it turns out so far. My opinion, I think it's turning out really good. It's really starting to take shape into what we had envisioned for this. Still waiting on the fender. That's why we haven't got that flare on, but hopefully he'll get that back to us soon. So that's it for this video. Make sure you subscribe, stay tuned. Next video we're gonna start doing some of the final accents. We're gonna paint this red, that red's a little bit red here and there to match the seats. We also ordered some bumpers, so those should be coming in by the time we're getting ready for the next video. We'll get those on, and we'll start buttoning up all the odds and ends, start getting everything together, and getting closer to finally completing this project.